I am going to turn the lights out for the first couple of minutes. I think it's rather nice to bathe our eyes in some sort of natural light. But if you've also got glasses on, why not just take your glasses off for a moment, put them to one side if you wish to. Obviously, it's entirely up to you. Let your eyes just truly settle. Close those eyes. And I always like to, at the beginning of a practice, just to draw our awareness to the breath, to have a few minutes to arrive in the space. This may be the quietest and stillest you've done or you've been all day. I just want you for 1, maybe 2 minutes to allow your breath and your body to settle. Now, absolutely fine to breathe either through the nostrils, or if you can, wish to, if you've got a cold at all, feel free to breathe through slightly parted lips. So there we are, all the lights slightly dim now. We can quietly tune into our breathing. Just for 1 minute, yogis at home, we're going to have the lights lowered. So use this time to take about 10 slow breaths. Now, as we breathe in, we're breathing in fresh energy to the system. And as we breathe out, we're taking any fatigue, any tension, breathing it out. So we're just going to focus on those 2 elements of the breath, the inhalation and the exhalation. Those are our focal points. Breathing in what's fresh and new. Sense of breathing out what's old and new stuff. Do enjoy just 5 or 6 more slow breaths. Just allow yourself to arrive in this space. Take 3 more deep breaths, yogis. Just 3 more slow, even breaths in your own time. No rush. Drawing that awareness ever so gently to your breath as best you can. Okay, yogis, let's take a deep breath in now together. And a deep exhalation. Just slowly and gently, I'd like you to take the awareness down to the fingers and toes. Start to give them just an affectionate little wiggle and a little stretch there. Slow little movements in the fingers and toes when you're ready. Opening them, stretching them gently. And then moving on, moving into the wrists and ankles. Let's make some little rotations here. First in one direction slowly. That's it. Untie the knots. If you've got any issues with ankles and wrists, do go gently, yogis. Be mindful of any physical sensations, ease off if you need to. And remember to make those rotations both left, or should I say clockwise, and counterclockwise in both directions. That's it. And then when it feels right to do so, we're going to take the awareness into the whole body and you've always got this option to take the arms overhead, yogis, or out to the side if you wish. Stretching toes towards you, pushing the heels away. Reflex the feet, stretch the legs. And taking the arms overhead or out to the side, just reaching through the body gently. Several deep breaths. Just becoming aware of the whole body. Stretching gently into the whole body. And as you exhale again, simply bring the arms back down to the sides of the body. Let's hug our knees into the chest, yogis. Put the lights on. Just gently opening the eyes now. Letting yourself become accustomed to that half light. Hugging the knees into the chest now. Just take a deep breath here. A lovely nurturing pose for the digestive system, but that low back as well. So a really nice way to soften. You've got low back pain. This is lovely to hold for several deep breaths at home. Really nice pose. And then let's roll onto one side. We're going to come up onto all fours. And this is where I mentioned perhaps today just having a little bit more padding. If you don't have any padding to hand, 1 or 2 mats are a good idea. And what you can do is, just as I'm going to show you now, fold your mat over slowly. So you've got a little bit more padding there. It's going to be on our knees for some time. What we're going to do is what's called animal sequence. So a series of moves, very gently to open and energize the body. You can stay lying down if you want to. So we start in what's known as pose of child, often known as swan pose. So my knees are apart, chest comes down, and if you need a block, absolutely fine to grab something like a block or a cushion if you're at home. Because if your forehead doesn't naturally come to the floor, not everybody's does, it's rather nice and important to have a headrest. Arms going to be ahead of us, just with soft elbows today. That just drops away the pressure from the shoulders. And this is the pose that we start in. So we'll come into this together. Swan pose, pose of child. Elbows bent, arms facing down. And it's a nurturing pose in its own right. So if you're having a really difficult day, you're feeling tired, exhausted, this is a pose just to take yourself into, have a little bit of self-communication, but also at the same time know that you're nurturing and softening the spine. Very calming pose, often one to go into, as I say, if you've had an anxious time and you're feeling a little bit low. Quite a lovely pose to place yourself in for 7 minutes. We'll just take 2 more deep breaths here, yogis. Knees are slightly apart, ideally. Help to soften into tight hips. When you're ready, I want you to come up onto all fours, remove the block if you were using one, and come into what we call tabletop pose, where our wrists are underneath our shoulders, Our knees and feet are apart, and we go straight into arching cat. So exhale. Now, as we do this, we want the chin to come in towards the throat. We engage the abdominal wall, pulling it in, and the arms are straight. And as we inhale, keeping the arms straight, dipping the spine, looking along the floor. We do that on the inhalation. We're then going to tuck the toes under. We're in a perfect place to exhale into downward dog. So come up nice and slowly. We're going to just ease our way into a downward dog for about 3 or 4 breaths. It's your first real inversion. So I want you to walk the dog with me by patting one heel back on the inhale and the opposite heel on the exhale. We gaze towards our upper thighs or knees. Allow the crown of the head to hang. Arms are strong. And just patting one heel back on the inhale, one heel on the exhale. If comfortable, we can hold for one more deep breath in and out because we're still in the first series of animal sequence. Now take a breath in, come all the way back down on the exhale, and gently sit back on your heels. And when you're ready to inhale, take the hands back towards your heels. It's called a gentle camel pose. We lift the head up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and come into gentle camel. And then to finish, exhale back into swan, palms flat, elbows bent, forehead down. So that's the sequence. I want you to stay and rest for another 2 deep breaths in swan pose. And we're going to repeat this sequence 5 times, 5 rounds, each time getting a little quicker so we help to open and energize the body. Settle there, rest, take a couple of deep breaths. That's it. Okay, let's go again. So this time I'm going to add the rabbit pose. So forearms stay down now, yogis, palms down, about shoulder width apart. And like a rabbit, we're going to lift the chin and chest, the head. Imagine like a little rabbit twitching the nose. Just getting that soft opening in the clavicle region. Breathing. Come into cat. That's our tabletop. Exhale, chin to chest. We'll do this nice and slowly. Pull the abdominal wall in softly as you arch the spine. Keep those arms straight. Inhale, dip the spine and look forwards. Then tuck the toes under. We exhale back into downward dog. Let's hang out in downward dog for 3 deep breaths now. Adding one heel back on the inhale. Opposite heel down on the exhale. Just go gently. It's only the second inversion. Naturally, we're going to feel quite tight in those hamstrings, aren't we? So just go gently, yogis. That's it. Take your time. Another deep breath in and out here if you can. Then slowly take a breath in and use the exhalation to come down onto your knees and sit there. Good. Inhale, hands go back into the camel. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chin and chest slightly if you can. And exhale back into swan. Now that's round 2. Stay in swan pose again for 2 breaths. And we'll repeat that, getting a bit faster again, okay? Remember, at any point you can stop. At any point you can just pause in a pose if it feels good. Feel free to do as much or as little of this practice as you want to. This is a mindful practice, so we listen, we stop, we pause when we need to. No pressure. Now when you're ready, inhale, we're coming back into rabbit. So the forearms are down, we lift the chin, we look along the floor. It's a nice deep breath in. We come up into cat on the exhale. Pull the tummy muscles in, chin to chest. Gently arch the spine. That's it. Inhale, look forward. Tuck the toes under. Exhale up into downward dog. Just stay in the dog for 2 deep breaths in and out now. Still walking the dog with your heels if you need to, yogis. Take another deep breath in and out here. Come down on the inhale. Exhale as you sit back, hands resting on thighs. That's it. Inhale into your camel. And exhale. Take one resting breath in swan pose, and we'll do that again. Here we go. Inhale into back. Exhale just a little bit faster now into arching calf. Inhale in what we call cow pose. Toes under when you're ready. That's it. Good. Take one breath in and out in cat cow. You've got it now. One breath in downward dog as well. Lovely. And down. Exhale back on knees. Inhale, lift camel. Exhale, swan. Should we do that once more? Just take a resting breath in swan again. And we'll do that once more, yeah, please. Here we go. Inhale into right. Exhale into arching back. Inhale, come forward. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Stay for a breath in the mouth. Notice if that feels any easier now. Come down on the next exhale. Inhale, camel. And this time when you exhale, I want you to drop the shoulders, forehead down, bring the arms round to the side, drop the shoulders, and relax in pose of child. And just enjoy a couple of resting breaths, several deep breaths there. Notice if you feel warmer. Marvellous, well done. Come up when you're ready. And we're going to complement that, probably with a half sun salute, but a little bit later. What I want you to do, you've got a block or a cushion, yeah, and at home, grab a block as well. We're coming into what's known as full butterfly. So I'm going to face you guys, sit on my block, just around the spine with the soles of the feet together. Clasp hold the feet. This is a lovely opening for our groin and the thighs. Often we're tight here. So we're just going to drop the head, chin to chest. For those that want to go a bit deeper, after several breaths, you can take the hand at either side of the feet and slide forwards. But listen to your hips. This is very strong. Let the knees fall out naturally. Hold for 5 breaths. Just allow yourself to go as deep as you wish to. It's known as full butterfly. And we're just starting to work on those inner groin area, inner thigh. Soften the elbows. See if you can relax the shoulders. Again, find a place of quietening. Try not to heave, hoe, or strain. Just enjoy that opening as you breathe. Breath, the body just ease you into it gently, don't strain. Lovely. And come up slowly. Good. Let's carefully bring the knees together. Stretch the legs out. Maybe just zigzag the feet in. And we're going to try a mini sun salute, but this sun salute really is about working our shoulders, arms, and wrists. And I thought I'd put this one in because, again, it's a great way to build the strength here. If you found you've lost it over maybe a couple of years that we've not been able to do our yoga. And I would very much recommend, again, to pad up underneath the knees because we're going to be here for some minutes. And then we'll come to standing. So either having something underneath your knees or pad up, as I've done. Most of you have got a couple of mats, haven't you? Or a blanket is great. Something so that your knees aren't taking all the impact. So, got a little padding there. And come into this pose a couple of times. I'm just going to show you the 3 parts to this. And I've been working on this all day as well, my other classes. And the secret really is to keep these wrists in the same line as your shoulders and not to strain. Pull the tummy muscles in throughout as we breathe to engage and strengthen these muscles. So I'm going to start. Let me just show you. First, I come into pose of child, and that is a really lovely extension for the arms. So come into that with me. Do separate the knees if you need to. Forehead down. I'm asking you to actively stretch the arms as far forward. We've been in this pose a few times now. Notice that it's getting any easier. Just enjoy several deep breaths. Feel free to soften the elbows. If you find that it's too much to straighten the arms, put a micro bend in those elbows as a nice alternative. That's a wonderful way to invite the breath into the whole shoulder and back region. All of these poses are said to help calm us and clear the mind. It's rather nice to do. Okay, you're going to come back onto all fours now, and just making sure again that your shoulders are underneath your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And I want you to lift, as I've done, feet off the floor, pointing the toes if you can up, and bring the knees together. Now engage the tummy muscles, pull them in. And as we exhale, we just want to keep these elbows very close to the side ribs as we come down. Doesn't matter how far, with control we push up. We exhale back into an extended pose of child. So have a go. Just see how far you can get. Keep those elbows in. Brilliant. And come up. And we're going to do 6 rounds. So we inhale, engage the tummy. Again, we flip the toes away. Exhale with control. And your role is to keep the elbows as close as you can. Push up on the inhale. Back into that extended child. We're going to do 4 more. If you can, bring your head down. Make sure don't bring the forehead down, just the chin and nose. Coming up. Exhale back. Don't feel you've got to go too far. Your main role is to keep those elbows close. Can you all feel your upper body working? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can do up to 6 or just 3. Use the exhalation. Inhale as you come up. Exhale back into pose of child, but extended. 1, maybe 2 more at the most. Pull the tummy muscles in. You want to engage them in the whole movement. Stop now if you need to, or just do 1 more. It is hard, isn't it? That's it. And some of you might want to do 1 more, or yeah, no, thank you. Careful, well done, Mike. Well done. Yes, keep those elbows closed. Lovely. Excellent. Okay, it's a lot of upper body, so let's complement that with a nice little bit of work for the lower half now. I'm going to stay with my mat folded. I think it's quite a good idea because you're going to pad up underneath the left knee, bring the right foot forwards. And we're going into what's known as yin dragon. So some of these poses are yin yoga, so they work on kidney and liver meridians and help those areas. We're just going to rest the hands on the right thigh and lunge deeply. Now, ordinarily I wouldn't ask you to bring the right knee over the right ankle, but it's fine for a few breaths, just a few. What we're doing is opening up here into this left hip. We're trying to create space there. So you can lunge deeply if you so wish. Roll the shoulders back and look forward. And just take the awareness, that's it. Make sure you don't go too deep, that's excellent. Get a feel for just gently starting to open up into this left hip and this left thigh. I'm going to take it a bit further if we wish to. You're going to maybe zigzag that right foot slightly further out. So we just take it out towards the edge of the mat, which means we can then bring our hands to the inside of the foot. Now, some people may like to grab a block and rest their hands there, which is quite nice, and you can't get all the way down. Some people, yogis, may want to bring the forearms down if you can. Don't force. Hands are fine. That looked like me. And then what I want you to do is take that right shoulder and push it gently into the right knee. Opening up into the right knee, but keep the right foot on the floor. That's it. So what we're trying to do here, yogis, is push here, opening up. I'm using all the weight that I can gently, pushing it, guiding it, coercing it into that right inner knee. But my right foot stays where it is. And so we can lunge a bit deeper. Can you feel that opening? Brilliant. And again, relaxing the head, taking several deep breaths. Don't go too far. It's a deep, deep stretch, yogis. Breathe into those tight spots. Long periods of sitting, let's face it, it's cold. Our hips get tight, get stiff. Pelvic regions like some pancreas of our body, the grand central station of the body. So it's where we get tight. So breathe and hold. It's going to help with sciatica as well. Lovely. Ease off. That's excellent. Well done. Let's switch sides. Carefully now, pad up underneath the right knee. There's no rush. Bring the left foot forwards. And our first real part of this is just to rest the hands on the left thigh. Lunge, roll the shoulders back. Just get a feel for this side. Right side. Anybody tighter? Okay. So it's absolutely fine to bring the knee just for a little while over the ankle. Ordinarily we wouldn't, but just for several breaths to almost accentuate that. And if it feels comfortable, you can. But keep the torso nice and open, roll the shoulders back. Look ahead. Then walk the foot slightly out. Hands can come in. This is where a block can help if you wish to. Take both hands to the inside of the left foot. Let's use this really strong part of our shoulder to press gently into the left knee. Keep the foot where it is. Open as much as you can. Lunge as deeply as you want into this hip opener. Hold for several breaths. How are we doing, yogis? Good. Again, it's quite easy to go a bit deep here, so my advice is ease off. Strong opening, make sure you're not straining. And let's aim for 2 more deep breaths. Breathe into those tight spots, wherever they may be. Lovely work. Let's take another deep breath in together. Deep breath out in your own time. And nicely done, yogis. We come on to our knees again. Tuck your toes under. We come up slowly. Coming up. Chin tucked in. Knees bent. Just rising up through your spine. Nice and leisurely. And brush that. Ooh, all the way to stand. Have a sip of water. I think the room's got inordinately warm, hasn't it now? With me? Yeah, have a little bit of water. Are we all okay? All right, yogis? Yeah? Quiet? Hopefully everybody's good at home. Well, let's complement our hip opening with a lovely opening standing. I do like this. I hope you do too. It's just we're going to make it quite dynamic. We can keep it gentle at the same time. So let's go wide. Both toes, both ankles facing forwards, as wide as your hips would allow you to. I'd better to turn the other way, just in case. So you're on your non-slip mat. Good. You can go still wider if you wish to, but ideally on a non-slip surface, yogis. Toes and ankles facing forwards. We'll turn our right foot out 90 degrees, and if comfortable, leave the left foot facing forwards. Right foot turned out, left foot facing forwards. You're as wide as you can go comfortably. We're going to bend this front right knee. Let's track it forwards. As you bend it, do please make sure that A, it's tracking forwards, and B, you can see the first 2 toes, the big toe and the second ideally. It may not stay like that, but at least the alignment is correct in the start. We're going to take both arms to shoulder height. Do please have a quick look and make sure both arms start level. Remember there's an arm you can't see. And our palms are down. We're not going to stay here. This is a lovely pose. It's quite static. We're going to make it a little more dynamic. You've got the option to keep the front knee bent at all times throughout the next movement, or straighten it if you wish. So breathing in, let's bring the palms together above our head, and we can straighten that front leg to make it more dynamic if we wish to, or keep the front knee bent. Exhale, go back into warrior. 10 of those, please, slowly. Inhale as we lengthen, straighten the front leg if you can. You're looking forwards. Try not to twist the torso. Exhale back into warrior. Gaze towards the long finger on the right hand. Breathing in, coming up. 10 of these, that's it. Exhale, go back into warrior. It's a very conscious way of guiding your awareness to the expansion of the breath and the relaxation of the breath. So lung capacity here. Good old workout in our lungs. That's it. Breathing in as we lengthen, breathing out as we expand. Let's do 5 more if you can, up to 5 more. Stop if you need to. Remember, you can keep the front knee bent throughout the movement. That's the gentler version, or straighten the leg if you wish to. Entirely up to you. 1 or 2 more, yogis. That's it. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to expand. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's do 1 more together as a group after this. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we expand. Beautiful, lovely. Let's release the arms. Pick the feet up. Just swivel them around to the other side. So left foot turned out. 90 degrees. Right foot now is facing forward. Just switch sides. Bend the front knee. Make sure you can see the top 2 toes. When you're happy with that, arms to shoulder height. And a quick look. Just checking both are level. We're looking very good. Okay, set ourselves up. Let's go. Inhale, dynamic warrior. Palms come together above the head. Knee can be bent or straight. Exhale, gaze softly towards the long finger of the left hand. 9 more. Breathing in. That's breathing. Go at the pace that suits you. We'll all be breathing slightly differently. It's the marvelous thing about us humans. We're all slightly different. So our breath is as well. That's lovely. It's a great way, as I say, to bring the awareness and the consciousness mindfully to the expansion and relaxation of lungs. So good for lung capacity, hips are opening, legs are strengthening, and of course getting this lovely lengthen in the torso. You can stop at any time, if you need to. Otherwise, doing up to 10 on each side. Really nice way again to just synchronize your movement with your breath. And release when you're ready. Carefully let's zigzag or walk both feet in. Take a moment to shake them out. Now what's nice to lead on from that is Golden Ball Warrior, which is a similar pose but makes our arms lovely and light and floaty. Directs the energy back to the central point here, our solar plexus, our energy center, and it allows us again to think about lung capacity now, which is great when the weather's cold and we're more prone to sort of coughs and colds. So can I ask you to go wide again? Just to complement what we've just done. Toes and ankles facing forwards. Turn the right foot out 90 degrees, and then turn the left foot in slightly, so your hip isn't working too hard. Left foot turned in slightly. Again, let's take a moment to bend this right knee, tracking it forwards. We can see the tops of the toes. But this time we bring the hands to this almost imaginary dome-like shape in the front of the chest. I want you to imagine, visualize if you can, a golden ball of energy that's yours. Your ball of energy in front of you. And as you inhale again, you can straighten the front leg, expand the arms out as far as you wish. And as you exhale, you draw the energy back in. And 10 of those. Inhale, this is a Qigong or a Chinese yoga pose with Qigong movements. But again, great for taking the awareness to the lung capacity. That's lovely. And the breath. It's great for focus and recentering, quietening and calming. Inhale as you open the energy. Exhale as you guide it back to the central point. Arms floating, light, and you move at the pace that suits you. 3 or 4 more in your own time. Breathing in as you expand, breathing out as you gather that energy, and softly gazing at this imaginary golden ball of energy. So your eyes are softly gazing ahead. 1 or 2 more in your own time. Bending the knee as you draw the energy in. As you expand the arms, straighten the leg if you wish to, the front leg. One more. Love. You release the hands carefully, slowly, without too much movement. We just simply switch the legs, turning the right foot in slightly. A moment to make sure the left knee is tracking forwards, not over the toes. And again, dome of light, ball of energy. Hands are cupped around this, visualizing this lovely dome shape, and begin when you're ready. Inhale to expand as the front knee straightens. Exhale, bending that left knee. Go at your pace. A wonderful way just to bring your consciousness and awareness back to the breath and the lunge. No rush, take your time. Inhale as we open. Exhale as we draw the energy back. 3 or 4 more slowly in your own time. Keep going with this. Lovely. 2 more in your own time. Let's make this the last one together. Opening on the inhalation. Exhale. Lovely. And release. Back. Shake it out for me. Lovely. Everybody okay? Oh, it's got warm in here. Have some water again at any time. Remember to skip a pose. You can always lie down if it's enough for you. But you've all got a block, yeah, guys? If you haven't got a block on the cushion, and we're going to do what we call, sneaky shoulders. This is lovely. If you've been tight here, you tighten your hips. We come down and sit on a block or cushion. A block is better. And I'm going to give you a gentle version of this as well, but we extend the legs out in front of us. We're going to bend the right knee and bring the right foot to the outside of the left knee. Now, if you can, I want you to bend your left knee and bring the sole of the foot as close to your right buttock as you can. And carefully, that's it. Bring that right foot as close to the left buttock as you can. Don't force that. Okay, and this is why we sit on a block, because it's much easier then. The spine can sit tall, you're not slumping. You're going to gently and slowly bring the arms out to the side and cross left over right. So opposite way to the legs. Left elbow over right. We're going to bend the elbows, and then we're going to make 2 loose twists. Because for some of us, we may just want to raise those elbows towards the nose and hold this. But if you can bring the palms and press them together. Raising those elbows even further up. Press the palms together if you can and make 2 loose fists. And eyes open or closed. Breathe into those tight spots, often those hard to reach areas between the shoulder blades. Think about what we're doing here. We're opening hips, we're opening the knee joints, the ankle joints, the shoulders. Try not to look up, simply look towards that inner elbow. Breathe and hold. Several breaths, doing really well. This is known as the sleepy shoulder pose. Great way for releasing the shoulders. And we're going to move a notch up from this. We're going to slowly start to, if we can, lower down towards that top knee. Rest our hands there and relax our head. Hold for several breaths. Really well. That's too strong. Just release. Lovely work here. Well done. Hold for an extra breath. Release the hands. Lovely. Roll the shoulders back. Great way to release tightness there. If you feel like a human pretzel, don't worry, because we're now going to just release the top leg and the bottom leg. Shake it out and switch sides. Okay, so that was very good. Let's bend both knees again. I always like to take alternate hands, so it would be my left hand taking hold of carefully my right ankle, bringing it over. Right hand holding on to the hand. the opposite ankle. So we're switching sides. So left foot to outside hip, right foot to outside. Okay? We switch sides. You may notice you feel different on this side. Well, let's take the arms to shoulder height. And this time it's the right elbow over the left. Two loose fists. Bend at the elbow and then raise those up towards the inner elbow. Our nose ideally in line with the inner elbow as best you can. Again, see if we can bring or press the hands together, but don't worry if you can't. Rather than look down, keep looking towards that inner elbow. Feel free to close the eyes. Breathe into your slinky shoulders. Anybody notice they're tighter on one side? Yes. Yeah, it can be quite different on one side, can't it? So as long as there's no pain there, as long as there's no discomfort, breathe into those tight spots, those hard to reach areas. One, maybe two more breaths. You're doing so well. So well. Brilliant. Nice, deep, even breaths, softening those tight spots. When you're ready, lowering those elbows and your nose down, resting on that top thigh. Relax here for one breath if you can, two if it's comfortable. Breathe in deeply. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Well done. Roll the shoulders back. Very nicely done, everybody. Again, take great care to unravel the legs. Oh, taking the shape out. Not easy, is it? Lots of joints that are naturally tight, all being asked to open. So well done. What we'll do now is we'll come off our blocks, put them to one side, and we'll do a really nice gentle back forward bend and complement that if we have time in the back bend. So just two more poses. What I like about this one I want to share with you is that you can do it in 3 stages and just stay at stage 1. It's rather nice if you've got low back pain as well, because you don't have to go too far forward. The knees bent, protect this low back. So we start with the legs bent. Again, we flex the toes. We don't want the feet to droop, so we flex the toes towards us, and then we're actually on our heels. We're going to interlace the fingers underneath. So we take hands underneath, either holding on to alternate elbows, or alternate wrists. So if you can't hold on to the elbows, anywhere in between. And what the aim is here, yogis, is to just bring your chest and forehead towards the thighs and knees. How far it goes up to you. So if that feels rather easy, some people find that quite easy, making it a little more dynamic, you can start very gently and very carefully slide the heels a little further away. So each time you're coming a little further down, and stay for several breaths. If, however, you want to keep the knees really bent and just lower a little bit, you might guess. Close the eyes. This is just stage 2. We've gone a little bit further if we wish to, by sliding the heels slightly further forward, still keeping the toes upright, so the feet are switched on. And with each exhalation, as if we could softly come towards our thighs. Now, for those that want to go even further, because it's done in stages, if you can, start to straighten the legs as much as you can, release the hands. Carefully take the hands to either the ankles, shins or ankles, perhaps towards the toes, but don't strain, folding all the way down. And I would recommend here, yogis, a little micro bend in your elbows. It just takes pressure off the shoulders and the neck. Folding down and staying for maybe 2 or up to 4 more deep breaths if you wish to. Calming, helping to quieten the mind and clear the mind at the same time. Remember to keep the knees bent if that's easier and more comfortable. Stay for 1 or 2 more breaths if you can. You're ready to release. Inhale, come up, yogis. Exhale, just take the hands behind you. This is rather nice as a counter pose. We lean back, separate the feet, just zigzag them in. That's lovely. Now, if you've got a lot on your mind, 3 or 4, even 5 minutes in that forward bend is said to completely sort of release the mind and clear it. Now, what I think would be nice just to finish with is a completely new pose that's known as the Cobbler Bridge. Okay, so let me show you. So we come down, which just feels lovely for our back. I'm just going to demonstrate. We bring the soles of the feet together. Now, in my mind, my body knows that if I bring the soles of the feet together and I open the knees, that's a relaxing pose. We enjoy that for a few breaths. Soles of the feet together, knees falling out, palms down, chin tucked in. You can just hang out here if you like this one. Just linger there as long as you need to. But after about 4 breaths, we're going to just start our strength work. So relax here, and then we start strength work. And I'm going to breathe in and push my hips up. And what we do, we breathe in at the center here. I'm trying to come up high, and I shunt on the exhale to my right. I'm trying to keep both hips fairly level. It's not easy. Inhale back to center, shunt to the left. Inhale back to center, shunt to the right. This is strong on our back, wonderful for the inner thighs. About 5 on each side. Then we come down and gloriously hug the knees. Okay? And then you're definitely ready for your relaxation. So I'll talk you through it, yogis. Come into that lovely, what our bodies know as a resting pose. So soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to fall out. Palms facing down. Just linger here for at least 3 or 4 breaths. The body will automatically know that this is a resting pose. And be my guest to stay here. You don't have to go any further. But just linger there. Take some deep breaths. You want to relax before you come into the last strengthening part of the practice. Wherever you're feeling tight, whether it's groin, hip, inner thigh, inner ankle, just enjoy sending a few deep breaths into those tight spots. Eyes can be open or closed. Just take another deep breath before we come into the strength part of the practice, or this pose, should I say. That's it. Okay, now you're going to inhale and lift the hips as high as possible off the floor. Roll the shoulders under to give more lift into the chest. That's lovely. Palms down to support you. Feel your back muscles working in that arch shape. Now we're going to inhale, and then on each exhale, shunt your hips from side to side. When you breathe in, return to the middle. When you breathe out, slide to the side. Breathe in again, come to the middle, slide to the other side. Each time, do your best to maintain the lift in both hips, keep them level. Lovely. Try 1 or 2 more. Inhale in the middle, shunt to the left. Inhale, come back, shunt to the right. Keep lifting those hips. What does this pose do for us? It strengthens our back, our inner thigh, hamstrings, buttock muscles, all working. 1 more to each side if you can, yogis. Lovely way to work your core muscles in a very flowing, organic way. Lovely. Let's calm down slowly, slowly. And rest down, hug your knees into your chest. Well done. That's known as Cobbler Bridge. That's it. Just rock gently. Take a couple of lovely deep breaths here. It's our last pose. It's 1:45. We're going to have a few minutes lying down. So when you've hugged the knees in and taken several breaths, I'll turn the lights out again in a minute to bathe our eyes. Just get ready for our relaxation. We're going to do what's called an energy balancing relaxation. Body's nice and balanced. Let's allow the mind to join. So get comfy, yogis. Have a little fidget until you feel really comfortable. That's key. Close the eyes gently. Allow your awareness just to gently come back to the breathing now. And yogis, I want you to take your focus first to that exhalation part of each breath. So each time you breathe out, I want you to exhale down from the crown of the head, through the throat, into the heart center in the middle of the chest. I'll say that again. Each time you breathe out, exhale down from the crown of the head, through the throat, to the heart center in the middle of the chest. You stay with this for about a minute. Your only task, remember, is to track that exhalation downwards. And just appreciate the sense of happy unraveling as you let go of each exhalation. Each exhale takes you a little bit closer to stillness and silence. Just enjoy that for another moment. Exhaling the energy down from the crown of the head, through the throat, to the heart center in the middle of the chest. And then we're going to add the inhalation, yogis, to our awareness. We're going to add the inhalation to our awareness now. So I'd like you to direct each inhalation upwards. So each one starts at the navel, and travels up to the heart center. You now have a focal point for both parts of your breath. Inhale, follow the breath up from the navel to the heart center. And as you exhale gently, drop the awareness from the crown of the head down to the heart. And we'll allow ourselves just to continue that process for several minutes, gently, slowly, in your own time. And as you're doing this, yogis, remember you're running the energies up and down the body. You're balancing the dualities within. Opposite forces of heaviness and lightness coming better into balance. Leaving you feeling expansive and yet grounded. Playful, yet determined. Hopefully being able to experience how being in balance is so much more comfortable than being out of balance. Rest well for a few more deep breaths, yogis. Allowing those energies to become more harmonized and balanced within. Yogis, I'd like you to just take another 3 slow breaths here. Still running the energies up and down the body, balancing the dualities within. Starting to just breathe a little deeper now and fuller. Taking slightly deeper, slightly fuller breaths. And as you do so, just starting to become aware again of the physical body lying quietly on the floor. Starting to become aware of the physical body on the floor, but also the sounds around you in your environment. Just beginning to gently tune into those sounds and any other sensory impressions you may be noticing. Tuning into sounds. Starting to take that awareness gently down into your fingers and toes. Just giving toes and fingers a gentle wiggle, a little bit of movement there, anytime now. Starting to become aware of these extremities once more as we gently come back into the outer world. Starting to move and stretch and unfold your body in any way that feels good. Stretching, yawning, lengthening and unfolding the body in any way that feels good. Do take a moment just to observe how you now feel compared to when we started. Just take a moment to notice how you now feel. When you're ready, opening the eyes. If you've not done so already, yogis, perhaps drawing the knees back into the chest and just coming back slowly and gently in your own time. Again, take a moment just to check in how you now feel. And when you're ready, but only when you're ready, just roll over slightly onto one side and come up to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Let's just close our practice together. Give yourself a moment just to quietly sit. Again, just checking in, any thoughts, any sensations. Just a moment to connect back with the breath. Bring the hands, if you wish to the prayer position. Take a moment first and foremost to wish yourself well, your body well. Simply take a moment to wish yourself well. And then if you wish to, expanding that out to include all beings, all creatures. May this being be well. May all beings be well. May this being be peaceful. May all beings be peaceful. And may this being be happy. May nobody be separated from their happiness. Shanti peace, go well. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks everybody. Thank you. Go well into this cold night. Wrap up. Warm in here. You wait till you get outside. It's a shame. Thank you, everybody. Everybody okay? You found some of the poetry quite difficult. Good. That's how we like you to leave. Floating off home. The challenge is to remain peaceful, isn't it? And I think if you're in your bubble and you feel good, long may that last. Yeah. Have a good night's sleep. And